Hi, welcome to StatStuff. I'm Matt Hansen. In this lesson, we'll review the lean concept of work in process, or WIP, and how it could be a form of significant waste in any process. There's one prerequisite for this lesson, and that's the one that's on 7 deadly wastes. If you haven't already done so, it may help to review those 7 deadly wastes before watching this lesson. But for now, let's start with defining what WIP is.
Well, work in process, also referred to as WIP and also known as work in progress, is basically referring to the unfinished items that are still within the process, that were still in production. Now, because they're unfinished, they also reflect the least valuable capital. That's because they don't yet meet the customer's requirements and they're no longer raw materials. That is, you can't resell them as raw materials again. And WIP also generally requires additional storage, and it's often going to be the victim of the 7 deadly wastes. For example, like overproduction, waiting, or inventory. So, in that way, WIP should really be measured for quality and timeliness. And there are many different production environments that use, for example, barcodes or RFID chips in their products to help measure and control WIP. Now, as an example, you might see tracking numbers that are used for shipping. Well, in this way, it's helpful for the customer to use because now they can measure WIP. But in the same way for the shipper, it's a way for the shipper to avoid the customer phone calls who are inquiring about the shipping status or whatever the expected delivery date is.
All right, before we close this lesson, let's discuss how we can apply some of these concepts in a practical way.
What I'd like you to do is try to identify at least 3 different processes that you interact with regularly. For each of those, ask what forms of work in process or WIP exist within those processes, and how is that WIP measured within each process, and what do you think the opportunities are in order to reduce that WIP within each process. And if you could reduce it, then what would that translate to from a financial perspective?
Well, that wraps up this lesson. Check out StatStuff.com for many more resources that can help you achieve powerful results. I'm Matt Hansen. Thanks for watching.